Welcome to Morning Sprite with Maddog Merv. Yes, that's what we're doing this morning is Sprite, and yes, my drink cups are just as colorful and weird as my coffee cups. I apologize for coming to you guys late today. I apologize for not knowing whether we were actually going to do this or not. It turns out what happened yesterday, I was on my way to my friend's warehouse at Kit Links, where I was going to be helping out with his monthly sale, open house. Unfortunately, I went to McDonald's on the way and got a breakfast sandwich, and next thing you know, I wasn't feeling good. I had a rumbly tummy. And so after we got done with the warehouse yesterday, I stopped by to visit a friend for a minute. Wasn't feeling good at all, and got home, and well, it wasn't pretty. Let's just put it that way. Unfortunately, I missed out on my son's housewarming party, which made me really sad. But you know, the timing was what it was. I'm just grateful that this morning I feel a lot better. Not back to 100%. And as you see, I'm on a liquid Sprite diet right now, trying to not have any more issues and trying to get enough strength back that I can actually maybe function tomorrow properly. So, but today, well, I was outside and we were going to do this out at the Oasis there, but unfortunately, one of my neighbors decided this was a good time to cut his lawn. And no, we couldn't have that. It would just be like back in Virginia when we had the guy with the drill. Remember that one, or the saw, whatever it was? Oh my goodness. So I decided we'll just do morning coffee in here. Well, actually morning Sprite at this point. Oh, that is good. You can hear the leaf blower going in the background. So welcome, guys. I'm glad you're here. And first off, I want to give a shout out to a very important person. So you guys know I don't have a Patreon page. I'm just not, how can I put it? I'm not in this for the money. So I'm not trying to do Patreon and all this other stuff that brings more money in. I'm just happy to be here, do what I do, and show you guys, take you along for the ride. So one of the things that that I don't have is Patreon. And I know that a lot of the channels that do, they'll go down and list all the people on Patreon that, which is great. That's nice of them to do. But I have a friend that I didn't have before we started this channel. And you guys see him in the comments from time to time, ME. His name is Mark, and we've grown quite a nice friendship out of just doing this, what we do on the channel here. And he is a huge supporter. I've told you guys before that he will find things at the secondhand store and help me here on the channel with these things. Stuff that I could either use here in the doghouse. Sometimes it's clothing he finds that fit, and I really appreciate that. And quite often it's model kits that he finds that are really good buy. And he'll let me know whether or not, or I'll let him know whether or not that's something that I can use. But anyway, he's been such a great help, and I really appreciate Mark for his for his friendship. We had an opportunity yesterday to hang out for just a few minutes before I started turning blue and needed to go. But just a wonderful guy. It's amazing the people that you meet when you have a channel like this. It's amazing the people that you meet just when you get out and do things in life. And I was having this conversation with my son recently that get out and do something. Do something. Whenever you do something, something's going to happen in return. Something good, something bad, but you can't make a change in your life, and you can't better your life by just being a hermit and not doing anything. So thanks, Mark, for all that you do to support the channel. And when it comes to the freezer, I don't know yet, because everybody's still asleep from the party, so I'll have to talk to them later. So we'll get back to you in another show and let you know about the freezer. But thanks, buddy. Um, so last week on the channel, uh, now I'm nauseous. I'm nauseous again because I thought of the Mustang. That Mustang 2 kit. Holy cow. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Uh, yeah, I really do appreciate. I do appreciate things. I got to tell you, it was fun yesterday. Just hanging out for a little bit. I had a great time. So, um, that Mustang. You hear a lot of guys make little complaints here and there. I'm the most vocal about kits that are absolute crap. Um, and what bothers me, if it was a kit of something very rare that hadn't been out before, this was a new company trying to put something out, okay, I would understand. This is a kit that's been out since the 70s, mid 70s or so, and nobody's bothered to improve it much except for, oh, let's put some pad printed tires. Well, that's kind of cool, except for they don't fit on the rims properly, and the rims are garbage more or less. Um, just because they aren't round. This thing was a real unfun kit to build. So I have a second one that I'm actually going to build I think it was called a 351 Cobra. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's a very rare piece that did have the 351. As I recall, it was a 351 Windsor they put in it, and it was had a few special modifications, few body mods as well. Got a picture of one, but it's going to be a while before I get around to building that because this left such a sour taste in my mouth. So anyway, I hope whatever you guys could glean out of that Mustang build, I hope there was something good in there for you. I mean, the positive thing is it's all jacked up and looks really cool. So, hey, Mr. Johnson, how are you today, buddy? I am a little bit better than I was yesterday. Yeah, I'm a lot better than I was yesterday. Um, Last night I spent the whole afternoon from the time I got home um, from the Kit Links warehouse. I spent the whole time in bed, except for when I had to go up to the, to the loo. Uh, Other than that, yeah, it was not a good evening. I'm just in so much pain and discomfort at times. I'm like, am I gonna die from this? It really was bad, but anyway, I'm weak, but I'm here. So, um, tomorrow on the channel. Yes, tomorrow we are gonna have a show. I actually wondered yesterday if we were gonna be able to get this done or not, but the story behind tomorrow's show is this. I have a grandson. Um, he's the youngest son and only son of my oldest son. So my oldest son's name is Zach. His son's name is Zach as well. We just call him Squish, and that goes back to him being a little baby and some things, from the family that we just call him Squish. So Squish is he just graduated from high school, yes, with honors, and he will be joining the U.S. Navy middle of June, middle of this month. I think it's the 18th. He actually reports. He's going up to the Great Lakes for his boot camp, but he's going into nuclear propulsion engineering is I think the term. But yeah, he's going to be a nuclear engineer for propulsion units on U.S. warships, which is really cool. Good for him, and he's a bright kid. He's the one that we kind of started this whole Warhammer thing for. My older son Zach, or my son Zach and Squish. This was something they wanted to do together, kind of father and son type of thing, to spend some more bonding time together, versus just playing mindless video games, on a screen. This was something they decided they wanted to do and include me in it. So it's been a fun journey so far. 5 Mustangs had all been, yeah. It is demoralizing. It is very demoralizing, Pete. As you know, as you can see, it's like, wow. it soured me from building a car kit for a while, I'll tell you. Even one of those really nice ones like that tow truck and the Blazer, which the Blazer's probably going to be next on the table here. But it soured me for a little bit. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, we're going to have a big party for him, big send-off for him. But before that, he's going to do a photo shoot. And this photo shoot, he needed a prop. He needed either a aircraft carrier or a submarine. And I said, well, the only aircraft carriers I have are World War II. And the only submarines I have are about this long. They're 700 scale. So we talked about it, and I wound up getting a nuclear attack sub, U.S. Sub model kit in 1/350th scale. It's still only this big, but it'll be a good prop for him for the photo shoot. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow on the show. Is we're going to go through the build of this submarine. Something I haven't done in a very long time, if at all, is a submarine build here on the channel. So we'll be looking at that tomorrow. If you want to stay tuned for that. Then on Thursday, let's see, this last kit hoarder stash, we had the Blazer. Oh, wow. I like that one. That's a well-tooled, of course, it's a new kit from Revell. The textures on it, just everything about it, I really do like. I wish our aftermarket had better rims and tires. For those of us that live in Utah and all we know is big tires and rims, we don't know what stock tires are on a truck. We really don't. And so, unfortunately, in the aftermarket, you have to go to get things like that. And anymore, it's just pretty much 3D printed because there's not much in the aftermarket other than the 3D printed stuff. So, which I haven't done yet in the large tires and rims. So anyway, we'll probably build it same color as mine. I got to see if I still have the paint. We'll see. But that's a really good kit. Highly recommend that one. The Ford F-250 is on order and hopefully will be here soon. That's one I'm looking forward to as well because I actually had one of those, my green Highboy, and I still have the paint for that, so that will be fun. But since we're not doing a kit hoarder stash this week, we're going to be doing Mad Dog's Adventures in Warhammer. And I did a couple of things. So I added to my color wheel Marines. Ouch. I'll show you guys this one here. Sanguinary Guard, which I don't know if the Sanguinary Guard at all uses a flamethrower, but in my world, here's what we're doing. But it's the gold. It's the gold that I wanted to show. So I'm going to do a little tutorial on how I did this gold paint because this is a very vibrant, he looks like C-3PO, you know. Very polished, very cool looking. So we'll do a little tutorial on that. We'll show you the other two color wheel guys that I got built as well this upcoming Thursday. So for those of you who are interested, stay tuned to that. By the way, the technique for this Sanguinary Guard is not new. Yeah, pretty good size, huh, Pete? Yeah, these Primaris Marines, I really like them, even though they're 48 scale. I mean, they're like 8 feet tall humans in real life, not real life, but in in the 40K world, they're like 8 feet tall. But it's a technique that I've used before on other things, and some of you guys might know it already. But anyway, we'll be showing it again. It's definitely something you can use for all sorts of stuff. Hey, Chris, good to see you, buddy. It was good to see you yesterday at the warehouse, the open warehouse. That was a good turnout. We had 5 or 6 new guys that have never been there before. Plus we had, 7 or 8 of you folks that have been there, all the time. And it's always great to see you. I was just telling the guys how sick I got because I went to McDonald's beforehand, got a breakfast sandwich, but that was a mistake. But anyway, I was spent the whole evening sick yesterday. I'm feeling a little better, so we're not doing coffee today, Chris. Today it's Sprite. Oh yeah, good stuff. So for the let's see, for the kit hoarder stash, we got that covered. Now on to everything else. So this week I started on that submarine as soon as I got it, because I have to have it done by Tuesday. My son and grandson have flown out to San Diego, which I don't know, they just wanted to go to San Diego, I guess, for a senior trip. When he gets back on Tuesday, I'll have to have this ready, because shortly after that, he'll do his photo shoot. So I've been working on this sub. It's the Hobby Boss Virginia USS Virginia. So it's a tax sub. It's, I think, a 774 is the number on it. Anyway, I was working on that. I've been working on more of my Space Marines, my custom faction. These guys, the ones with the teal and cream color. I was making a apothecary, which is basically your battlefield medic. I was working on him the other day, but I've got some other things going on too. I found this, not the Bud Bowl, but the Blood Bowl, because I'm interested in doing a scene, a little diorama with these guys that has to do with Mesoamerica. And I was really looking for some Aztecs in this scale, but really couldn't find anything great. But it turns out Games Workshop has a game series called the Blood Bowl. And I guess there's several different teams that are, how can I put it? They're different factions, but this particular one, these are Amazon. These are Amazon women. Pretty cool. And I thought, Amazons are going to be probably as close as I'm going to get to Aztecs. I think I can make them work for what I am going to do here. So I picked them up, and I've been working on painting them very slowly, crafting it into this diorama that I want to do. So I picked those up. Also, at the warehouse this last weekend, I picked up 2 LVTs in 1/35th scale. One was a AFV club. It's the LVT, I think it's the 4, but anyway, it's the early model. It comes with a couple of different gun shields, and it comes with the interior in it. Really neat. Boy, a lot of parts. We're going to be reviewing that on the kit hoarder stash before long. It's not a kit that I knew was out, so when I saw it at the warehouse and I saw the sale price on it, I thought, oh, I got to have this. So I picked that up. I also picked up another LVT that has the M8 turret on the top of it. That will make the second one of those I have, but because there's some different options I can do with that, I wanted a second one. So I got those. I also picked up some really nice trees. What are they called? Palm trees. Palm trees from a couple of different companies that make palm trees. Some of them I got were clear down in HO scale, so they're kind of small, but then these others will work with 38, 48, whatever, 38, 35th or 48, whatever. So, it's kind of interested in that, especially with the diorama idea that I've got coming up. So anyway, those are some of the recent purchases from this week. Now, the news, there's a lot of news around here this week. My poor puppy is back to limping again. I don't know why, but was it yesterday morning? Day before yesterday, I guess. She was limping. Yeah, that one. That's the one, Pete. And you're right. The tracks are terrible on those Italiaries. You gotta like melt them together, but they're still terrible. Anyway, that M8 turret I'm actually using for another project, so that's why I needed one to actually have with the M8 turret on it. Excuse me. So, okay. The puppy, she is back to limping again. I gave her some anti-inflammatories that I had used before, and it worked out great. This time, she's still limping like crazy. So I'm hoping she hasn't blown out a knee. Those darn healers, they are very active. They're runners, they're jumpers, and I hope she hasn't hurt herself. So I'll have to get her into the vet this week. Yeah, I'm dreading that. Also, my house guest that I was taking care of left, went back home, and I won't go into details, but it was not a good parting. But I could do a channel and just call it, kind of like a soap opera, like a Days of Our Lives, except for we'd call it As the Stomach Turns. That's what we'd call it. Yeah, As the Stomach Turns. I'm sure the ladies would just love a good soap opera on YouTube. And boy, could I provide one with all the drama. What's important is I now have 3 empty rooms in my upstairs. Wow. So I'm going to be very busy over the next few weeks, doing some repainting, some carpeting, different things to get those rooms back into shape, so that we can use them for other purposes. So that is going to be that's going to be something that I've got going on here in the next couple of weeks. The weather has been hot. We're supposed to be up to 95 today. Although tomorrow, I guess a cold front moves in and we're supposed to drop down to like 78. Okay, I'll take 78. No moisture, just cooler temperatures this week than this last week, which this last week was quite warm here. So I had to fire up the air conditioner, which works really good in here, and it allows me to actually, when I'm in here doing some building, allows me to do that in comfort. So anyway, what else is going on? Boy, not much. Now that my son's housewarming party that we spent a lot of time and money helping him put together is over, now that we are into June, I look at the calendar, and the next thing coming up will be the Rocky Mountain Hobby Expo, which is a local model show that I will be doing some vending at. It's a Friday afternoon and Saturday event, and that will be at the National Guard base at Airport Number 2 in, I think it's called West Jordan, Utah. Not too far away, about 20-minute drive from here. And I will be doing some vending. That's coming up here in a couple weeks, so we'll give you more information next week as we get closer to that. So those of you who are local, stop in and say hi. And got a few kits that will be vending, and Mark will be vending his paint racks, which I highly recommend. These paint racks, these are a game changer for me in the way I was able to organize and do the things I need to do. My Warhammer paints are right here. These, well, I call them my Warhammer paints, but these little guys, they're all right here. And then more of these types of paints for my World War II stuff, figures like that. They sit right next to it. I have some Tamiya and Tester paints here that are just kind of odd colors. I'm glad to see that, Chris. It'll be nice to see you there, buddy. You and the missus. So bring her on by. Say hi to me and Mark. I have my automotive paints actually up here in a corner, and some of them are these scale finishes. I have several scale finishes, and then I have some of the old Testers enamels, the Colors by Boyd and things like that, and then kind of a smattering of other paints over here. Most notably, though, I recently needed to do a coral colored base, and I found this Polish crimson, this old Flowcool paint that was perfect for what I needed. So again, being able to organize, I just absolutely love it. And then my Citadel paints are all right here. So I can just grab things real quickly. It's convenient, and I'm able to model a lot more efficiently, at least in my little world. So, all right, you guys, I've kept you for 25 minutes. Thank you so much for those of you who joined right now. I really appreciate it, and I know that a lot of guys are going to catch up later today and check this out. So thank you as well. I do appreciate those of you who who support this channel, who help me with all of the really cool stuff. You hang loose too, my brother. It was good to see you yesterday. We'll be seeing you again real soon. So, but thank you to all of you guys. Tomorrow, like I said, we're going to be looking at this submarine and how I build it and paint it. It's really quick and easy to do, and we'll get into that a little bit more tomorrow, and some of the pitfalls I ran into building it. So, anyway, thanks for joining us, folks, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully, it won't be morning Sprite. Hopefully, it'll be morning coffee. But around this place, you never know from day to day what's going to happen. So take care, you guys. I got to hit that right there. That's the one I got to hit. Okay.